Salem, Massachusetts, 1692. 20 innocent people died because of 3 little words. It started in the minister's house where his niece and daughter began having fits. The doctor was called to examine them. He said that the hand of the devil was upon them. But here is what they don't teach you in school. In order to determine if the girls were actually afflicted with witchcraft, a neighbor suggested they make a witch cake. This involves putting the urine of the girls into a cake and feeding it to a dog. If that sounds like witchcraft to you, that's because it kinda is, and Reverend Paris was furious when he discovered that this event actually went down. Shortly long after this, Tituba, a servant in the same household, starts to say that she's been afflicted by witchcraft, but she gives a full-out confession. This confession led directly to the trials and all the horrors that would come. But what's really important to know about the trials themselves is that they revolved on spectral evidence. This is basically saying that you had something occur to you in a vision, in a nightmare, and you can use that as admissible evidence in court. Hey, you watching this video right now, I had a dream that you were a witch. Disprove me. Here's another thing they don't teach you about the trials in school. 2 of the victims, Sarah Good, who was hanged, and Giles Corey, who was pressed to death, cursed Salem, cursed everyone who had accused them right before they were sentenced to die. Giles Corey, as he was being pressed to death by rocks, essentially crushing all of his internal organs, cursed Salem as well. If you want to hear a full dramatization of that event, check out the related video. But here's the darkest truth, in my opinion, about the Salem Witch Trials. The Salem Witch Trials actually had very little to do with witchcraft. It was about power, it was about fear, and as evidence of that, all you really need to know is that if you confess to being a witch, thereby playing into the accuser's handbook, your life was spared. How did this work to benefit the accusers? Well, let's say we've got 2 pieces of land. We're neighbors. We live right beside each other. I've got an apple orchard. You've got a cattle ranch. Come winter, my apple orchard is kind of crappy because the apples ain't growing. And I start looking over at your pasture and saying, man, I could really use some of those cattle. I go to the court and I say, you're a witch. You can't deny that legally because I claim spectral evidence. You then have 2 options. If you deny being a witch, you're going to go through a trial process and probably be imprisoned or executed. And also, all of your land, including all those cattle that I want, are confiscated by the state. If you agree that you are a witch, you're going to go through the exact same process, except at the very end of it, they ain't going to kill you. So if you're trying to understand how the Salem Witch Trials were about power, that's exactly how. The people who were behind the accusations were the ones who were benefiting the most, the vast majority of the time.